Guys, it is Darren here, and the episode of Naruto Shippuden 358 was in fact very interesting indeed. This had so much information inputted into it, and I thought that it just had to be reviewed. I did last week's review, episode 357, and that was a very dark episode that should have been in the arc as well. Not only has this filler giving us an insight on how Kakashi grew up. It's also giving us an insight of when the third Hokage was in power, what happened, how Danzo was really like. As we know, he's a very evil character in his own way. As you know, he wants the village to be at peace, but he wants to run it how he wants to run it. It also gives us Yamato growing up, but only for a little bit, and now we get seeing Itachi in full form, basically his factor and his mindset on what was really going on between the Uchiha and the Hidden Leaf Village. So we start off this episode with Kakashi and Itachi having a bit of discussion of him knowing about his clan being spied on by the Hidden Leaf Village. He already knew that. He saw what was going on. He already sensed it. And he basically showed not that much emotion towards it until he was forced to go and spy on his part of the village. Basically, as you know, the Uchiha has been forced in this little space in the Hidden Leaf Village by the second Hokage because he didn't trust him as well, and they were placed on the police force. So when Itachi was looking through the high-powered binoculars, he saw Sasuke, and his emotions towards Sasuke was very... It was good. It was good to see him smile. We always know that Itachi loved his brother Sasuke, and when Sasuke, sorry about that, and when Sasuke came out of the building, Itachi's smile just lit up, and Kakashi didn't see it, but he knew that he just loved his brother. So we got to see the Nine Tails attack the Hidden Leaf Village again. This is another flashback on what happened, and we got to see a much more big discussion between Hiruzen and Danzo. He basically said that he told Hiruzen that do not send the Uchiha to help out with the Nine Tails because they have the Sharingan that can control it. Hiruzen had to agree to send the Uchiha to be the police and help out the citizens of the Hidden Leaf Village. Sorry about that. Because if the Uchiha took control of the Nine Tails, no one knows what will happen. Would they control it to keep attacking the Hidden Leaf Village to take over the village and put Uchiha back into power, or would they save it and basically, you know, help out the Hidden Leaf Village at this point? Hiruzen and Danzo did not know, so they had to make a very drastic decision on that point. We got to see the elders and Danzo and Hiruzen talk about what happened, and it was so much conflict. Hiruzen opposed what they were saying. They wanted to spy on the Uchiha for 24-hour surveillance, and it had to be done by the Anbu, even the Anbu in the route from the Danzo division. And Hiruzen did not like it, but he had to go ahead with it, which really set aside the standards of, you know, how he feels this sort of situation should have been handled. So we got to see a character that has been mentioned in this series for a very long time, Uchiha Shizu, and this guy is not just the most powerful genjutsu user, he's also in the actual family, but seeing him in action really makes you say, why wasn't this guy shown in the arc itself instead of a filler? Because seeing him in action really shows how strong the Uchiha really are individually, and I thought that was very interesting. When the Hidden Mist Village was coming towards the Hidden Leaf Village, Uchiha Senju was there to stop them. And as you know, the Byakugan user that had the Byakugan is right eye, I cannot remember his name. But as you know, we saw him at the Hokage Summit. And he also basically filled out that Danzo was controlling the Land of Iron Chief into making him the commander of chief of the war that was gonna start, and he knew that that was Uchiha Senju's eye that was inside Danzo. And when he saw Uchiha Senju in front of him with his Byakugan, he knew that him and his team were no match for him, because even if Uchiha Senju did not put the two members of his squad inside a genjutsu, he still wouldn't have been able to defeat him. That's how strong of a genjutsu user and a Sharingan user Uchiha Senju really is, so they had to retreat, and it was very interesting to see. But Uchiha Senju, he was a very kind character. He was working both sides, just like Itachi was. He was working for his clan, and he was working for the Hidden Leaf. But he loved the Hidden Leaf more than his clan. He wanted peace between both sides, and that's basically what made Danzo not trust him at all. And that was very interesting. We got to see how Danzo took Uchiha Senju's eye, and he used Izanagi or is it Izanami, against um, Uchiha Senju. And I was just wondering, at that point when he took the eye, why did he even need to use Izanagi at that point? He could have just put that eye inside of his arm and have an extra Sharingan eye on his arm, and then put Uchiha Senju's eye inside of his right socket. But he didn't. He wanted to show Uchiha Senju the full extent of the power that he had, but he still needed help from the rest of the Ru'anbu backing him, basically. And it was a very great episode. We got to see conflict between Itachi and his father, because Itachi's father wanted him to come to the meeting, but he didn't show up. He had to rendezvous with Uchiha Senju, and when he did, he noticed that his friend was off, and he saw that his eye was missing, and he had no point but to accept the other eye from him. And I was just saddened to see that that is really what happened, even though everyone suspected that Itachi could have killed him. And Danzo showed not one piece of emotion when Itachi was explaining that Uchiha Senju committed suicide. Even Hiruzen thought it was a suicide. He had to accept it, and he thought that it was his fault that he pushed him to that limit to commit suicide. It was surprising that no one asked about the eyes, because they wanted Uchiha Senju to go to the Uchiha meeting and therefore corrupt Itachi's father's mind into leading the Uchiha clan into a much more peaceful resolution, instead of this whole rising uproar to go against the Hidden Leaf village. But it didn't work out. Danzo wanted to do it in his own way, and it would have succeeded if Danzo had just left the situation to Uchiha Senju, but he did not. He wanted to take it into his own hands, and that's what I feel is bad. Most things that are happening now, the bad things, the Uchiha would have been alive if it wasn't for Danzo's actions, if you look at it. But in a way, I think that some of the Uchiha would have noticed that it was Shinju that was controlling the leader, and they would have had an uproar and suspected him of treason, and then they would have attacked the village. So par and par, both sides would not have worked properly if it all went down. But in fact, it did. And we got to see some grass ninja planting some bombs on the Hidden Leaf. I think the path towards the Hidden Leaf. And of course, Itachi and Kakashi foiled it with the rest of his Anbu team. And we got to hear that even the grass ninja knew who Kakashi was when they saw the lightning blade. His name was basically, going out there. It was being spread far and wide of the Anbu Kakashi, that the ninja that has copied 1,000 jutsu, and they fear him, and he sees it in both a good and a bad way. He doesn't, set it aside, and this is a really good filler. Sorry for the bad review about this. I know it hasn't been in depth, but of course, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, it's all up to you. Next week could be the final filler episode, don't know yet. I think they might lead it into another episode after next week. The next episode is basically the Great Tragedy, and that is basically when Itachi kills the rest of his clan. I think they might show when Itachi speaks to Obito, and a much more, we might get a much more view on that. What else did he say to Obito regarding the cleansing of his clan, and we might get to know what Itachi, his feelings towards Obito when he first met him. We might get to see that. But in all, great episode. Cannot wait for the next. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry for the bad lighting, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.